Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Push Radio's most anticipated main event, Ringside ATL, your number one source for verbal fisticuffs and black love, wellness, and support. I'm your host, Tre Amazing, part-time stripper, part-time pastor, but full-time dating commentator. Seated next to me, bringing the heat in these streets, is the incomparable titan of Tung Fu, the Golden Gloves griot herself, Miss Kimelia. What's up? Good morning, everyone. This is Troy Vaughn, aka Tre Amazing, and I'm joined with Kimelia. Hi. And this is Ringside ATL, brought to you by Push Radio. And today we got something special for you. Still trying to wake up myself. Had a full night of stripping. Had to get my dollars down. But this morning, woke up trying to get my sermon ready because the pastoring don't stop pastoring, okay? But before we get to it, we're going to climb in the ring and we talk about something called struggle love. I know you heard of it. I know it's been out there on social media. It's been burning all throughout Facebook and Twitter. But we want to help break it down. We want to help, kind of get to the point of, get to the meat of exactly what struggle love is. Because it seems like different people have their own definitions. So I'm going to see what Kimelia got. And so I'm going to put my mouthpiece in, got my guard up. I want to see what she got going. So Kimelia, hit me. What you got?
Okay, so very often on social media, we see things like this. Hold on, we have a prop. We have a prop from this morning's breakfast. Hand me that plate right there.
Using props.
We're using props, okay. All right, this is my apple wrapped up in a paper towel here, and they'll have a picture like this. And the caption says, "Is this a date?" And people fire off in the comments because some people are saying, yeah, it is. It doesn't matter how much money somebody has. It's about the company. And while that is true, the lack of effort, the lack of resourcefulness, the lack of capital to properly court someone with no end in sight is like never okay. I know that you were a grad student, Troy, so you often go to that example, but that is, once again, there's an end in sight to that. There's a 2-4+ year, track that is given to you. And as long as you're, working hard, checking off the boxes, whoever you're with, it's like, okay, we see that this can end soon, but for the person that's been working on their mixtape for 9 or 10 years, asking you to just, hold on, baby, hold on, that's a little different. And
but when that mixtape dropped, though, when it finally dropped and everybody's dancing the Old Town Road or whatever it is,
yeah.
Then what?
Then
where you at then?
It's just a chance.
It's like I was just playing with you. I was going to stay with you.
Well, there's a quote that says a woman's loyalty is tested when her man has nothing, and a man's loyalty is tested when he has everything. And I think that that's very true. I've lived it, witnessed it, experienced it myself, where, you hold somebody down, and then when they get that call to go to NFL camp or to whoever studios, they don't call you back anymore.
Well, so, is that always the case, though? Because it seems like
it's not always the case, but it happens enough for it to be a Kanye West lyric.
Well, we know what Kanye West is about.
When he gets on. Yeah. So, yeah. It's a really common thing. I mean, there's a reason that original quote, exists, and that's why we celebrate those couples that do stay together as long as they do, the Obamas, the Smiths, know, because a lot of the time men call themselves upgrading. So that's why I would just rather work on being the upgrade.
Well, I'm going to come back to that in a minute, but I want to understand, why is it now, for some reason, and I'm not saying struggle love is just a new concept, but for some reason it's been burning throughout the internet just in these last couple of weeks. What happened, or what, did the event occur, or did something happen out in the cosmos where everyone now is hashtagging no struggle love, or, why is it such a hot topic right now?
I think a lot of women, because it is women mostly, speaking on it, we're tired.
Y'all tired?
We're tired, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna let you I'm gonna let you wake up for a little bit. You know what I mean? But I understand you're tired. We're gonna go off into a quick break, real second. But when we come back, I'm definitely gonna delve deep in this because I want to know. I want to know. As a man, where are the women, if we do have a dream, if we have that, I have a dream out there, but right now, maybe sleeping on a futon, or, hey, a date may be Little Caesars, or, for our anniversary, I can treat us to some Applebee's. I want to know where can we find those women that would be okay with this, this current, status of me not have it today, but tomorrow when the album drop, or when, after rookie camp, or when I drop these, free throws or whatever, will you still be there? Or will you hold it down with me? Even can I guarantee you, if I say, look, once I get on, there ain't gonna be no white girls. It's not gonna be you to upgrade. Where are the women who will hold it down until then? There
are plenty of women out there that will do that. The question is, like I said, will you stay with them, or do you even want them to begin with? I mentioned earlier, I've been with wealthy men and I've been with very not wealthy men, and they all kind of had the same expectations of me, and if I'm going to put in the same amount of work, then of course I want to not struggle.
Not struggle.
Yeah.
Okay. That is the operative word. We shall return. Please stay tuned. We're talking about Struggle Love here on Ringside ATL Push Radio.
Not the move.
If you got fast acting dial-up, make sure you find us on the interweb at ipushradio.com. Round two, everyone. Round two. We are back. This is Ringside ATL, brought to you by Push Radio. And today, again, we're talking about Struggle Love. You heard about it. If you're on social media, you know what's up. So we're about to kick things off once again because we left off talking about something very exciting. But before, let me push this out there, okay? So Struggle Love. You did a great job with breaking it down as far as the basic concepts, giving people, the context of what struggle love is. But what about the extremists out there that push the envelope just a little too far? We got people out there, and this is real, people who feel like, no, bump that. Struggle love is anytime the man makes less than the woman. It's not even talking about that man being broke or in school or working on a mixtape or anything, any situation where a couple is together, but the woman earns more than the man. Didn't bring out a specific, disparity in salary, but just anytime the woman's salary is bigger than the man's salary, people equate that to struggle love. And what do you say to those people?
In that case, it's not necessarily a financial struggle, because trust me, you're not struggling if you make 100K and your man makes 65, 70K. You're still, a good, strong 6-figure couple. So is it a financial struggle? No, not necessarily in that case. I wouldn't define that as struggle love in that sense. But I think the struggle comes in as a woman dealing with the man's ego.
Ooh.
That is where the difficulties definitely arise. An example that I give often, I know somebody that works at a very prestigious hospital, here in the U.S. She's an amazing lead doctor in the cancer center there. And every day walking to the parking garage, she would take off her white coat because, parking garages are dusty and dirty, and, she would just put it in her bag. And she met a guy that worked at that same hospital. He did IT there. He approached her, asked her out. And on the first date, he was like, "Oh, well, how long have you been nursing?" And she's like, "Oh, wow, this person, thinks I'm a nurse." So she talked to her dad about it. And, it turns out Dad was like, just play along.
Just go with it.
Just go with it. And for the first several months, he really thought that she was a nurse. And of course, nurses make good money, but it came out after the wedding, or at the wedding. He was like, "If I had known that you were like the lead doctor in the cancer center here, I might not have approached you." So these are the things that women have to deal with in terms of struggle love. It's not just the financial piece. It's the fact that you have to work so hard to dumb yourself down, take off your white coat, say, hey, baby, it's okay. Or no, I don't think less of you because, and, you have to constantly stroke that ego. And that's just a full-time job in itself that you don't get paid for.
Well, just understand, it's not always ego. It's just how we go. Okay?
Yeah.
I just had to throw that in there. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm corny. It's all good. But getting back to it, but in that instance, because I remember that example, number one, that definitely is applicable to some men, because some men definitely would not approach a woman if they thought, unicorn life, sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
I wouldn't care, because I'm like, if she's attractive, if she comes across as approachable, I'm going to say something. I'm not somebody that's going to be, it's going to feel threatened if she makes substantially more, just as long as she doesn't hold over my head. But I do understand. I definitely get some guys can't deal with this. Some guys need to come into the relationship or the marriage knowing that, hey, either we make about the same or I make more. Some men really, egos or just whatever you want to call it, they really want to be able to function. Or if they said they could, you would see it play out differently and manifest in different behaviors, because some guys really they can't deal with it.
Yeah.
So in that instance, I understand. And I hope that couple is in marital bliss right now.
Oh, yeah. They're on baby number 3. Everything's
baby
great.
number 3. Okay.
Yeah. Everything is definitely going well with them. But hearing that at the wedding, like, oh, wow, I might not have approached her had I known that you were this person. And she's just an incredibly sweet person. She's never changed because of, whatever. But a lot of people think that you do. And I honestly think a lot of men are intimidated or bothered by a woman making more because historically, a lot of men treated women badly, because they were the heads of the household. So I think a lot of guys are running scared now, like, oh, is she going to do me the same way that my granddad did my grandma, And it's like, no, it's just,
well, don't worry.
Things are different now.
I'm going to put a call out to the fellas. I'm going to send an email and a text message like, fellas, y'all need to chill out, come back, don't run. These ladies are getting it. These ladies are getting degrees, certifications. They're making money. They are brainstormers. They're building rockets and flying them to the moon. You ain't got to run, okay? It's okay. This, I think, achievement and that type of accomplishment is hella sexy, is hella desirable. And as long as you're not someone that's, belittling that man or making him feel less than, it shouldn't be an issue if everyone is on the same page. So struggle love sounds like it is going to come across differently to different people. It can be predicated in money, but it's not totally about money, because as you mentioned,
it's about the attitudes towards money and what you're asking somebody to deal with or go without in order to be with you. That's never the move. People have wants and hopes and dreams and needs, and you don't just stop having those because you're in love now or because you like somebody. They're still there.
We still got wants, we still got needs, we got dreams, we got things we got to do. We got some stuff we're trying to get accomplished, but it's all good. So bookmark that. We're going to come right back. We're going to get round 3 popping off. Stay tuned. If you got fast acting dial-up, make sure you find us on the interweb at ipushradio.com. Round 3, everybody. Round 3. We're closing out. You know what it is. This is Ringside ATL, brought to you by Push Radio, and we're talking about struggle love. We didn't have some great debates. You heard that. We didn't have some great debates talking about this very divisive topic. It's been burned throughout social media. Everybody's been talking about it. We wanted the opportunity to come here and break it down ourselves the only way we know how. So I'm going to throw it to Kim, because I think Kim got something in store for me. I think she got something in her sleeve she want to throw at me. So I'm going to get my guard up. I'm ready. I'm going to see what she got.
So I have a question for you, Tre Amazing.
Okay, possible answer for you.
Okay, so we have been getting a lot of feedback on this topic, and what I always find interesting is men seem to ask women to deal with or hold down a lot in their romantic relationships, but when those men have daughters, they definitely don't advise them the same. How do you feel about struggle love and, if you had children or daughters specifically that were of dating or marriage age, what would you tell them about a man and his finances and what should and shouldn't be?
Well, this certainly is applicable to me. I don't have children right now, but majority of my close friends, like my partners around me, for some reason, they're all having daughters. So I don't know when it's my time. I don't know what's going on. I may be next as far as having a daughter, but if I had a daughter or daughters, what I would tell them is, number one, find a man who, of course, is about his business. And if he has goals, he's taking the steps to achieve his goals. Now, depending on where you are in life, as far as if my daughter were in college, like, is that young man, is he making great marks? Does he have a plan for after graduation? Is he going to school or is he going straight into the workforce? My whole thing is, if he has the resources and the funds to maintain himself, then he can cover his bills. He's not out here, robbing from Paul to pay Peter, and he's not out here struggling financially and just going without the basic necessities. Then I would say, if he has a good heart and everything else is covered, I'm okay with you moving forward. Now, in terms of, we talk about struggle love, I do agree. As a man, I would put out there, like, look, if you don't have your basics covered, right?
Shelter, food,
food, some of the, you have a roof over your head covered, or unstable, job wise, or basic. I'm talking about the basic stuff. If all that is compromised and in question, then you shouldn't be worried about dating. And as a woman, and the same thing I would tell my daughter if I had one. Hi, future daughter, if you're out there, daddy loves you. If you're out there, if you meet a man and these things are still up in the air and he doesn't know where he's going to live from 1 month to the next, then a relationship, dating, that shouldn't be priority. That shouldn't be on your radar. It's not something you need to focus on. Let that man focus on getting his ducks in a row and let him get himself together before you guys even entertain the idea or the possibility of dating or relationships. So in that sense, yes, if I had daughter or nieces or goddaughters, whatever the case may be, find someone who is actually grounded in what they want to do professionally.
And has an idea of what's going on.
Has an idea, but also you can actually see him. It's not just him having a dream out there, but sitting on the couch playing PlayStation, just with that dream out there in the ether. No, he's actually waking up every morning and he's taking the necessary steps to achieve that dream, regardless if it's getting that education or getting those certifications or trainings or whatever the case may be. He's just not speaking out the side of his neck. He's just not giving her lip service. He's actually doing something to achieve it. You know what I mean? If his basic stuff is taken care of, then I would tell her, like, if he has a plan and he's doing it, then it's okay to have Little Caesars this year if you're going to have filet mignon next year. Or if we're going to, if we're going to just prioritize certain things and, for a greater return, you know what I mean? Make certain investments for the return to be that much greater. But as far as basic stuff, no, get that taken care of first. Get yourself collected and build yourself up. And then at that point, then date, then go out to whatever it is people do on dates.
And I think that part definitely applies to women as well. If you don't know where your next meal is coming from, when I didn't know where my next meal was coming from or how I was going to pay bills or whatever, that men were not at the top of my radar at all. Serious relationships, nah.
Facts.
That wasn't a thing. So, yeah.
These are things, I think, honestly, I would attribute these as, I don't want to say common sense, because common sense ain't always so common with people. But if you don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, why are you thinking about trying to figure out how to take someone out to dinner at a nice restaurant or whatever the case may be? Get yourself together. That way you can take a woman out, pull out your debit card and not worry and not sweat thinking it may be returned, or you don't want to worry about the waitress coming back and cutting up your credit card at the table. Like, that shouldn't be a concern. Make sure your job is straight. Make sure that your bills are paid. Make sure, dag nabbit, make sure you can put gas in the Hyundai. okay, then we can talk about dating, okay? Because none of us, we don't want to struggle. We don't. I mean, if I'm with an attractive woman, let me focus on being with her, courting her. I don't want to have to worry about simple things like, do I have enough gas to get to her place and back? Simple things like that. Now, in that regard, fellas, well, just anybody, if this sounds like you, if these are some symptoms that you're experiencing, then you may be going through a little struggle. You may be going through some issues personally that you need to work out. Get better. I'm just saying, okay? I'm not trying to come across like an infomercial, but you need to get your stuff together, all right? Because struggle ain't cute. Struggle is not sexy, and we're trying to keep it sexy out here, okay? But if the bills aren't paid and you ain't got enough gas in the pacer, you're not sexy. It's just not. No. Thank you so much. I mean, you came with it. Hey, I learned some things, learned a great quote, and this is how we do it. This is what we do. We break it down, and it has been brought. Everyone, this is Ringside ATL, brought to you by Push Radio. This was a great 3-rounder about struggle love. Hope you guys learned something. I'm Tre Amazing. This is Kimelia, and we are signing off, and we hope to see you soon.
Bye.
All right, family, don't forget to find Ringside Group on Facebook and make sure you join in on all the fiery debates daily. Also, follow us on IG at iPushRadio. And if you got fast-acting dial-up, make sure you find us on the interweb at iPushRadio.com. And lastly, do your sex and marriage life a favor and find all audio shenanigans of Ringside ATL on SoundCloud, iTunes, as well as the website iPushRadio.com. As always, this is Tre Amazing and Miss Kimelia signing off, and we'll catch y'all on payday.